What is up, YouTube? Sciz1 here. Welcome today to episode 4. We're already on episode 4 of Wildstyle Wednesdays. So, of course, we got the sketchbook here. That's what these episodes are centered around. You can come, you can hang out, you can ask questions. As always, I'm going to be doing my daily sketch, and we're going to get going on this. Formula, what's up? Good to see you. We're just getting going here. Hey squad, what's up? We're getting the whole gang here, I see. I like that. Yeah, I'm actually all caught up on my sketches other than the one I have to do today. This is the one I did most recently. Yeah, very experimental. I don't know how that one turned out, but I don't know. I sort of liked it, but I don't know. I stuck my name exchange in here, the one with Alu. Yeah, in the past couple days I've done some simpler stuff. This was the tutorial one yesterday. Yeah, it was okay. It was a simple one as well. Did this one yesterday. And we have a blank canvas to work on today. Figuratively, I mean a blank piece of paper, you know. So we got middle of the week, getting through it. How's everyone's week been here? Whoa, dropping stuff. Yeah, I remember being in school. I was always trying to jump on YouTube during my classes at school. Still, even in university, I still do that sometimes, which is probably really bad, but school definitely cuts into everything fun, that's for sure. That's awesome. That's gonna be great exposure, squad. Any kind of work on shirts and stuff like that can get you really good exposure. Hopefully some money for it too, because yeah, I designed a few shirts, and actually I should be giving out the link to people where they can buy them, but they have some of my abstract stuff on them, as well as I'm in the process of making some graffiti-oriented ones as well. I'm trying to use up as much of the page here as I can in today's thing. I want it to be tall, sort of like the one, sort of like this one, because I think this one turned out really good. So that's sort of what I'm trying to do here today. Usually if you fill more of the page, your stuff's generally going to look better, so that's something to always keep in mind as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, Amazon has really good deals on a lot of that stuff. I try putting links in my videos descriptions to, like if I do any reviews, I'll put the links usually to Amazon, if not Bombing Science. But Amazon, if you buy like bulk packs, there's usually actually some pretty good deals on Amazon for that kind of thing. If you live in the US. In Canada, the deals on Amazon are actually terrible for some reason. I don't know why. But doesn't mean I can't help everyone else out a little bit. I don't like how much this is sticking out here. Easy solution, shorten it. Unless I just make a really small C, like a short C. It's funny that you mentioned that squid that you were sketching in class, because I always used to sketch, like when I was in high school, I would sketch all the time in class, and people at my school just sucked. They would make fun of me for sketching, and I'm like, you don't even have any idea what I'm making. But they're like, ooh, what is that? I don't even know what it is. So that's what I had to deal with when people saw me sketching in class. Granted, my high school probably wasn't full of the smartest people, so that's how it goes, but some people just ignorant. I mean, also around my area, there's very little graffiti scene, so it's not really on them for not knowing, but it's on them for being dicks. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, Formula. I know very well what you mean. Yeah, they're, I don't understand. It's funny because a lot of times now I'll go to like a McDonald's or something just to sketch, and it's a complete different reaction than it was from like people in school. It was like, in school, people were just being dumb, and then when I do it in public or anywhere else, everyone will sort of ask what it is and actually be super nice about it, which is awesome, because then I end up usually handing a couple of my business cards out and stuff like that. So I don't know what it is. Probably just people at that age are garbage, but seems to be how it goes. But yeah, like a lot of the time I try and make sure nowadays, if I'm doing practice work, like this kind of thing, that I end up doing it in public, because it gets you a bit more exposure. You find a few cool people to talk to, hopefully. Martin, that is a good question. I would say people always say practice, 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 right? And that is true. But what they really mean by practice a lot is they don't just mean practice a lot, because you can practice the same thing over and over again. What a lot of people mean when they say practice is experiment. Because when you get into Wildstyle, that's when you sort of start to develop your style, right? And make a recognizable style for yourself, hopefully. So of course, practicing is important, but what's more important is that when you're practicing, it's important to experiment and just try different things and work with the letter until you're happy with it. Like for me, even in this piece, I tried to do like a little tail here coming from the inside of the letter. I don't really think that turned out that great, so I'm probably not going to use that ever again. Yeah, that's pretty much how that's going. So yeah, it's just you gotta try things, and like when you find something that works, stick with it. Add it to your repertoire. And yeah, it's pretty much what's going on. It's hard to give advice on that, obviously. But yeah, if there's any specific things that people want me to look at, shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll take a peek at whatever piece you're working on, stuff like that, and hopefully try and help you out too. But yeah, Martin, that's what I would say. And also something else, Martin, is not even necessarily practicing adding different tails and stuff and elements to your piece, but just practicing different structures. Because that's something else, even in this piece I'm working on. I'm using a very tall structure, which I don't usually do. I like my stuff to be straight across or something a little more conventional like that. So even this kind of practice, fuck this mop, stay up, is helping me out. I guess what I'm saying is practice is only worthwhile if you're learning from it. So to learn from it, you gotta push yourself a little bit and try new things with your pieces. Obviously, I can't really tell you like specific things about Wildstyle that are gonna look good, otherwise it would just be normal style, right? That everyone could pull off. As a hobby, well, here's the thing, it's not really a hobby if it's how I make my money, so sorry, bud. Are any of our moderators in here right now? Probably not. That's okay though. Boom. Don't worry about it right now, Formula. I realize that I also have moderator powers. I don't mind people talking on this channel here. It's totally fine, but there's a fine line between pissing people off and being a good member of the community. That's the whole dynamic, right? So I like the little timeout button that you can put people in, because it's a childish sounding way to moderate, but when people are acting a little childish, then it's very fitting. I like that. It's one of the things about YouTube live streaming that YouTube nailed, at least. I don't know how live streaming works on many other platforms, but it's cool. That's cool. Vandal TV, I feel like I've seen that channel name, but I can't associate anything specific with it. But yeah, I have seen that channel. For anyone that is curious about how the moderating thing works on here, basically you can either delete someone's comment. Well, I can. I can either delete people's comments, I can either put people in a 5-minute timeout, or I can ban them from my channel, which I don't want to do. I like everyone to be able to participate in our community here, you know. Hey, Elias, I'm sorry, I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I feel bad about my lack of language knowledge. Anthony, what's up? Yeah, squad, that's super impressive. See, like, when you get that many subs, like, you're set. You're set for life. If you can keep that many subs active by uploading content, doing stuff that people want to see, then that amount of subs is more than enough. So, like, for a channel with 171,000, that's awesome. People don't realize that some people who do YouTube full-time only have around 10,000 subscribers. And the way they pull that off is just because they're so well connected with, like, merchandise sales, things like that. Some people, like, what if you have a service to offer, people do that. Like, I know what, I'm sure there's more than one person that does this, but there was some guy who did, his channel might be about, like, filming and stuff, but what he did was he would do, like, he would charge people a certain amount to do, like, a live Skype session with them to review their channel or audit their channel, which is, like, personally, I think that's bullshit. Like, any half smart person should be able to tell what's good about their channel and what isn't. But this guy would charge people, like, I don't know, $50 per Skype session, per, like, half-hour, hour Skype session. And, I mean, $50, you can do one every other day and sort of make a not bad living at that. So some people can pull this shit off without a ton of subs, which is ridiculous. That's the thing, Elias. Half the time I'm trying to be funny, and then half the time I'm just being me. Most of the things, like when I hang out with my friends, most of the time when they're laughing at me, it's not because I said something that I thought was funny, but, you know. No, it has a lot of dislikes. That's probably because of, whoever the hell that guy was. I guess they call that a dislike mob. The thing that people don't know about dislike mobs, too, is, YouTube, as far as I know, and I've seen some pretty good evidence of this, YouTube will actually promote videos that are more controversial. And that's part of the reason why, like, if you go to super huge videos that have, like, hundreds of millions of views, like, for example, if you went to any one of those garbagey songs by Justin Bieber, they are literally the most disliked videos on YouTube, yet they have millions and millions and millions of views. And when I say most disliked, I mean like for videos that have over 1 million views, their percentage rate of dislikes is the most. And when YouTube sees videos that are controversial, they promote them because they know people are going to have an opinion on them, and that's going to be good for engagement. So when people come around, do dislike mobs and stuff like that on me, I don't care. People can do that. It's just going to help me out, you know? So that dude, whoever his people were that came in here trying to start whatever they were trying to start, it's not even a big deal to me. And it's funny because they don't understand that. So I can comfortably sit here and sort of laugh about it because I know they're not smart enough. They don't know what I know. And if they do know what I know, then they just look stupid for helping me out. And that's how it goes. And I mean, here's the thing too. You can have people coming in here and being rude, but like, what legit YouTuber doesn't have some hate? So it just makes me feel a little more legit. It's a good time. Very good time. Ah. So I'm trying to make this look very full on the page here. Don't know how I'm liking it yet, but I don't think it's going too bad. Yeah, you're right, Anfrey. They basically are giving me views because of that whole dislike thing. YouTube Rewind 2018 is the most disliked video? Really? I have not seen that. I haven't really heard of it. I sort of live under a rock, probably. But now I gotta go see that after the stream. Check it out. That's funny. Is YouTube Rewind like a thing that YouTube did? As a promotional thing or something? I remember at one point hearing a lot about YouTube Rewind, but I didn't pay enough attention to it, obviously. Hey Anthony, what's up? Yeah, PewDiePie made like a video trying to get like what, 1 million dislikes or something like that, which for a YouTuber of his size should not be a problem. But yeah, a network I used to be involved with did sort of a little study. They tried to upload 2 identical videos and asked in one for everyone to dislike it and asked in the other for everyone to like it. And the one that had more of a split or more dislikes ended up getting a lot more views. So that was sort of the informal study that I saw on that sort of subject. It's a cool theory, in any case. And it seems to hold true. Like, if you go and look at a lot of videos, it does hold very true. I think people contribute it to being like, oh, that's just a big video. That's how many likes it's gonna rack up since it's a big video. But no, it's more like the video being big is a consequence of it having so many dislikes rather than the other way around. If anyone ever has questions for me about how anything works on YouTube too, not guaranteeing I'll have an answer for you, but since I do spend a lot of time figuring that stuff out, I could probably answer them. Like, I'll probably have an answer for most YouTube related questions. And yes, I have heard of Graph Lounge Squad. I like the videos that guy uploads. I haven't seen a ton of them, but the ones I have seen seems to know what he's talking about. I like that. I feel like if Graph Lounge did more active stuff, like more consistently, he could have a go of getting like a real YouTube career going, you know? I feel like some people just don't consider it. What time are we at here? Oh, only 26 minutes, nice. Now this piece is not necessarily turning out super good, in my opinion, but that being said, I don't want to spend a ton of time doing fix-ups on it. Pump action markers, I assume you mean like markers like a paint marker here. Depends on what you're using them for. I use paint markers like religiously on canvas. They serve me really well. Of course it depends on, you want to be careful with what ones you use. The valve systems on a lot of very thin paint markers or pump markers seem to not work well, or at least they haven't for me. Yeah, that's my short answer for that, I guess. Martin, tough question. Because people, there's this thing called RPM, which is like rate per million or something, but people simplify it as like how much money you make per 1,000 views, and which is sort of a dumb way to think of it, because people don't get paid for views. You get paid when people click on ads that are on your videos. And I guess typically if you have 1,000 views, you will have made $2 per 1,000 views. But it really depends on like what kind of ads are showing up on your videos, that kind of thing. So some YouTubers with 10K could be making a ton of money, whereas others could be not really making any. It's all hard to tell. And one of the tips I would say is really important for YouTube is you don't want to just be making money from YouTube. You want to monetize your channel in more than one way. What I mean by that is like making money directly from YouTube is all good and fun, but there's other better ways a lot of times that can make you a lot more money. For example, I'm an affiliate of Bombing Science. I'm also an affiliate of Amazon.com. So when people click on the links in the description of my videos to either Amazon or Bombing Science and buy stuff, I get commission on that because I've helped them advertise. So that's another way I monetize my channel. Of course, if you have a big enough following, you can make like merchandise, things like that. Of course, for someone like me, selling my art is a big bonus, and that's what I would love to be able to do more of. But again, that comes with size when you have a big enough following. So if you're on YouTube, you do want to sort of maximize the different ways you can be making money, and that'll really help you out. Sponsored by Bombing Science? I don't really know necessarily. Like, it depends on what you mean by sponsored. Because I've worked with Bombing Science. I wouldn't say they sponsor me. They did sort of sponsor the last graffiti tournament that I hosted. They directly sponsored that. They provided the prizes for that. In return, throughout the competition, I mentioned them and mentioned that they were providing the prizes. They have sort of sponsored my reviews in the past. They've given me or sent me products to review free of charge, pretty much. Like, not to say anything specific about them, but just to do reviews on them and mention where I got it. So, like, all my reviews are honest 100%. And the way I got that was I just approached them and asked, like, hey, I have a channel. It gets, like, the key thing for me was my reviews get a lot of views. One, I think because I know how to market them, and two, because I do a good job on them. Like, I do a comprehensive review. So they were able to look at my reviews and say, yeah, this would be worthwhile for us to send you some stuff and review it. As far as, like, them sponsoring artists and stuff, I have no idea. Yes, and free. My business email is, I'll put it in the chat here. That is my email. You can also DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is @ScizGraffiti. Yeah, I pay pretty close attention to my Instagram nowadays as well. So if you want to contact me in any of those places, I will answer. I will be traveling in the next little while, so I might be a little slower, but I shouldn't be too slow in any case. Also, traveling, I may get a video out of a trip I'm going on sort of soon. Well, actually very soon. Doing a couple different trips. And for if you had any possible things, that would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely DM them to me. I would love that. Same with, I enter a lot of art competitions. So that's another way you can sort of use to try and make the most out of your art. So if anyone finds any art competitions that they're entering or that they think I should enter, totally send them over. I would love that. That's really nice of you. Thank you. I'm trying to use the big marker here for most of this sketch. Want to work on getting clean lines, not being scared of... Because the more you're scared of getting a not clean line, the less clean it's going to look. So a lot of times the best way is just to dive right in and try and make a few clean lines in your pieces. It's another thing that's good to practice. That being said, I do want to use the smaller marker on a few things here. Banners and stuff are very important when you start, for sure. I need to redo my banner, actually. That's on my list of things to do for this week, actually. Careful with your banner, though. You don't necessarily want to emphasize when you upload and do content so much as what your channel is about. In a few short words, your banner should convey exactly what your channel is about. That's the main thing you want to have on your banner. So like right now, if you look at my banner is trash. It tells you nothing. Like, it's basically there so that I have a banner. But yeah, it doesn't tell anyone anything. Yeah, I might do that. So I'm finding right now in this piece that there's not enough line thickness variation. A little disappointed with how this is looking. That's okay though. If I sharpen up some lines like that, it might help. Yeah, I'm really not happy with this tail I added, and I don't know why I kept it there. Yeah, Squid, you're right. On Instagram is, even if you don't want to post stuff, I've always found Instagram to be a really good place to, there's a huge art community on Instagram. So it's a good way to look at stuff, find people, that kind of thing. And I mean, I get more people wanting sales from me on Instagram than YouTube, way more. So I like that aspect of it too. Working a little bit fast here. Definitely want to get this looking a little bit like it's finished before our stream is out, you know. Formula, you're back. Yeah, I'm not incredibly happy with this sketch so far, to be honest. Really messed up the eye. I should have made a lot of these lines a little thinner than I did. I went all in with the fat marker today. That's okay. That's why you sketch, to learn. Learn what doesn't work. Anyone who sketches will know that you learn a lot more about what doesn't work than you do about what does work. Because the stuff that makes your art look bad is not that it doesn't have stuff in it that looks good, it's that it has stuff in it that looks bad. That's why people will not gravitate towards your stuff if they're not doing that. Mode Lu, what's up? If anyone hasn't seen the video with my piece I just did for Lu, check that out. That is the piece in here. That one. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sort of tilting my head at a weird angle, so hopefully it's showing a little bit. Thinking I'll add some 3D to this just to give it a bit of direction. So right now this is a little bit, 'cause, 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 non-directional. What the hell? I have a hair stuck to my face. Ah. Is it on my eye? It's gone now, I think. No, I see it. This is pissing me off so much. I'm being attacked by one of my own hairs. I swear to God. Alright, squad, thanks for stopping by. No problem. I'm usually looking for collab stuff to do, so I'm super happy we did that. Yours is looking really good too, by the way. Dopey, what's up? Dude, if you had your black book here, I would. That's one thing I've also never had. I've never had anyone else's work in my black books. It's because I don't actually have, like, in my area, it's very hard to come by a graffiti writer. Okay, so outline pretty much done there. Gonna erase all the stray pencil marks. Gonna do something a little different here. I think do the 3D going upwards. But actually, since this is so shit and it's throwing off everything, I'm getting rid of it. It needs to go. As bad as whiteout is gonna look in a sketch, I am done with this. It's out, it's gone, non-existent, leaving the universe. It'll be covered by 3D, hopefully. I'm not covered because I don't want to fill in 3D right now, but... that's a start, at least. Nice. Dopey, I like that. Thank you, Alu. Yeah, I try and not use whiteout in my book, but sometimes it's just necessary. Gotta do it, gotta do it. If something looks bad enough, and you think that whiting it out will make it look better, even with the shitty whiteout there. So like at least now this whole top part is sort of even, and that whole little thing was throwing that off. And this tail looks a little better now too. So I'm content. Since I'm content, I will be starting to throw this stuff on here. Of course, 3D going upwards means I do have to deal with the curve of the page happening, which is hard. Nothing wrong with old school block letters. Those are the foundation. Everyone should do some block letters every now and then. They're very important in development. Important in a lot of ways, really. And the thing is, if your style isn't clean, doing block letters will expose that, because there's no fancy things to hide your style not being clean in block letters. So block letters are a super good thing to practice. That's why people can post on Instagram just a little straight letter thing and get thousands of likes, just because people are like, wow, it's so clean. And they're right. It's either clean or it's not. That's what you gotta be looking for. Nothing is gonna look bad if you can make it clean. That's the moral of the story. Of course, as I say that, I'm like freehanding this 3D, which is a terrible thing to do, especially right after last stream when I did a tutorial on how you can space out your letters and use measurement and stuff. But hey, we have time constraints on our stream here. Gotta make sure we're gonna get something that looks semi-done in this stream, you know? Yeah. Anthony, I've done the same sort of thing. Just, I'll do block letters, put cracks in them, call it a day. They're nice too, because like that style stands out, especially when you're using it in almost anywhere, trains and whatever too. Like the stuff that stands out the most and that you're gonna see first is the whole cars that are in that style. Or even just like benched trains. You're gonna see the block letters first. I mean, it's also important to develop style and everything, but no one's ever gonna hate on block letters. At least they shouldn't, unless they're really dumb. That's the thing too. Some people, when they hate on stuff, like, they don't realize how stupid they're making themselves look. Like, if you ever see someone being like, oh, those block letters are dumb, that's not real graffiti, it just makes them look bad, because you can tell they don't understand where things came from. They don't know the evolutionary steps of this kind of art. And then it's like, okay, I don't need to say anything to you if you're gonna hate on something that's like a fundamental. That's how I see it anyway. Yeah, I've noticed in Hawaii, you're right, there's, like, I'm not from there, I've never been there, but whenever I've seen, like, people go on the Hawaii trips and whatever, there's a ton of piecing down there. Makes me curious about the laws, where you're from, Anthony. Because I know in some places things are very strict, other places not at all. I saw the episode the other day of... Oh shit, I really messed that up. So the episode the other day of... damn it. Burst was interviewing Dries, and Dries was saying, I forget what country he said he was in, but he got arrested, he got caught in a train yard, and he said he spent 5 days in jail, but the jail they put him in had like a TV, it had a coffee maker. They asked him when he went in if he smoked, and he said he did, because he does, and they just gave him a pack of cigarettes to last him for a while. And he said, like, yeah, as far as jail goes, it was a super good experience. So it's funny how much things vary in different countries, you know? Oh, you guys have like a public wall or something like that? Svipen, you're not wrong. Sweden's always been a hot country, in terms of graph. They were one of the originals. One of the first to pick it up outside of New York. Russia, Germany, they're hard hitting, I gotta tell you. I don't know, you're making a big statement there, 18, with that whole number one. When you bring the word number one out, I don't know. A lot of countries doing a lot of big things right now. And graffiti's everywhere. It's hard to put a number one pin on something. What time are we at here, guys? Uh-oh, I'm at 1 hour. So my stream's probably going to cut off soon. Basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep on sketching until it cuts off, but expect the stream to cut off in the next few minutes, I'll tell you that. But yeah, this is what we got right now. I missed a bit of 3D over here. I'm going to add that on. What's been happening is YouTube has been cutting my streams off at usually 1 hour and 3 minutes. Anthony, I know what you mean. none of my friends ever got into graffiti, which is super boring. Because for me to, like, want to go and paint and stuff, it's like, okay, I would, like, there's no point in me saying, dude, I want to go paint. Because my friends will be like, cool. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if you guys weren't losers. Yeah, there's no such thing as a legal wall anywhere near me, pretty much. And there's also very few abandoned buildings and stuff in my area. Like, very few. Like, if you know 5, that's insane. There's, not a lot of stuff. Yeah, Dopey, that's not a bad idea either. Like, if people are into the wrong kind of graph, then it's not worth being around either. And by the wrong kind, I mean, like, people who just want to be out for beef, and we spoke on that before, you know? It's not an interesting thing to be around. Like, for me, I literally have no interest in it. Like, I don't know why you would want to put your development of your own art and your own style aside to deal with a bunch of people being losers. I ain't got time for beef. Got things to do, places to be. That's how it goes. I'm surprised I'm not cut off yet. Seriously, any minute I'm gonna get cut off. So if the stream goes dead, I'm sorry guys. But hey, I'm sketching.